What's going on, guys? It's Colin with WebStar Designs. In this video, I want to talk about what it takes to build a social media website with WordPress. So I actually already built one just for practice with WordPress. I'm making a second one now that's going to be a lot better. A second website that's a social media platform, which I'll talk about a little bit more later in this video. But I want to talk about what it takes to build a social media site. Also some insights on how to make it successful and have users on your website. It's actually, from a technology standpoint, it's pretty easy to build a social media site nowadays. Like with WordPress, there's a lot of plugins out there where you can get user registration forms. You can get profiles. You can build profiles real easy with plugins. Front-end posting, all these things. Like, you can really find plugins for just about everything you need to build a social media site with WordPress. How I am going about doing it in my current website that I'm working on is, first, I'm opening it up so that everyone can post, everyone can make posts just as long as you're logged in. I'm also developing my own plugin for front-end posting, so you'll have like a form where you can put, it's more of going to be like threads, so it's not like Twitter where you just make a post. So you'll have a title for your thread, and then you'll put a comment underneath that, and that comment will be whatever you want to talk about in your thread. And then there's going to be categories below that. And I've also created a plugin where front-end users can add their own categories. And I actually had to limit that a little bit, so I didn't want people to be able to spam new categories. So I limited users to one new category per day to lower the spam with building new categories. I'm also thinking about having like a paid version of a profile where you can post as many categories as you want, or maybe up the limit a little bit with a few other features as well. But really, WordPress makes it pretty easy to build a social media site. Just because you've already got the posts, so really all you have to do is make it so those posts are available for everyone to post, and you can post from the front end of the website instead of having to go into the back end of WordPress and post. So one of the things that you really want to focus on is you don't want to just make a Twitter clone, or you don't just want to make a Facebook clone. And the reason why is there's actually a lot of clone websites out there that are similar to Twitter. And the reason why Twitter is still so powerful, or the reason why Facebook's still so powerful, isn't necessarily because of the technology that they use, or how well the websites work, which they do work well, that is important. But the most important thing is the people that are on the website. So if you just make a Twitter clone, why would anyone use your site? Because all the people are already on Twitter. So when you're building a social media site, if you're trying to do it for like a business and not just like some project, you need to think about how you're going to differentiate yourself. And the way that I've really thought about doing it is to be in a certain niche. So Twitter is really just for everybody to go on and post. Facebook's for everybody to go on and post. You can make social media sites based on certain niche markets. And I think that's the best way to go about it if you want to be able to, instead of trying to compete with Twitter directly, you find a certain market where you can have like a forum or something like that for people to post about. So like what I'm building right now is a website, and I don't want to go into too much detail because it's not out yet, but it's a website for people who are maybe trying to build businesses, and they can post threads, or maybe they're and really it can be for anything, like weightlifting, anything that someone's trying to accomplish, or maybe some project they're working on, and you can post about how your progress is while you're doing it, and other people can comment on it. So this is what I'm going for. And the reason why it's not a Twitter clone is it isn't for everybody. It's for a niche group of people who are like working on a certain project, and I don't think I don't believe that it's been made before. I haven't found anything like it out there, and that's what I'm working on. So if you're looking to make like a social media website, it's better to just stick with a niche market instead of just trying to appeal to everyone like Facebook, because then you're competing directly with Facebook, Twitter, and that's not going to work. Also, I've learned if you don't have a lot of money to put into it, don't do video streaming. I actually started a social media site that does video streaming, like live streams, until I realized how much it was going to cost to host that. And it gets pretty expensive. It's easy to make, it really is. Like, I had a working version of the site up and ready to go. But looking into like the paid options, if you have a certain number, because you pay per user that's watching the live stream, so if you start getting a lot of people watching or a lot of people posting live streams, it just gets really expensive. So if you don't have a way to monetize that real quick, it isn't going to work. But if it's just like a posting thing where you can make posts, blog posts, it's easy to make. And I'm probably going to do a video on that in the future, where I'm actually going to show you my computer and show you like some of the plugins and stuff that I'm making. I might even put those plugins out on the internet for other people to use once I refine them. But you know, that's what I came on here to talk about, just social media, making your own social media platform, some bots I've had while building the one that I'm working on now. Definitely come over and check it out, like and subscribe the channel if you like this content and you want to see more about this. And I'll let you all know when that website's up and ready to go. So I will see you in the next video.